Connor Bingham, senior, center.
Watermelon sugar high, watermelon sugar high.
My name is Connor Bingham once again, and my fun fact is that all the moms here voted me for best looking fat dude.
What does it mean to you to be an Avon Eagle?
It means hard work, commitment, and you have to be mentally strong to do it.
You kind of have an interesting dynamic. You've had several siblings come through the program. What does that mean to you? Like, what did you learn from them even before you became part of the program?
I learned from Mason, like watching film's important, knowing your plays and being a leader on the field and off the field. And then Colin and Ryan, you know, they're just my boys, I guess. I didn't really learn much from them, but it was fun to play with them. And
that's the thing, your oldest brother Mason, he was the center. Did you almost learn the position before you even, and so you walked in day one, you knew what was going on?
yeah,
How much of an advantage was that?
that was a big advantage. Like I already had the snaps down. Like me and him would go in the backyard, snap to each other, and built my confidence a little bit.
You didn't flinch like him, did you?
No, not as much as he did. So no,
Not as much.
I don't flinch in game. Mason flinches in game. I don't. So he has more flags drawn.
How much of an advantage is it too that you guys, you're great, you guys have grown up together and you played ever since you were knee-high to a grass?
I think it's a big advantage. I think we're all really close on the field and off the field, so that helps. Like when we're out there, if we're losing, we just come closer together and just want to beat them.
How has this program changed you as a person since you've been part of it?
I'd say it's definitely made me more committed to what I'm doing. Like let's say it's work, I'm showing up early. I'm just dedicated to what I'm doing and hard worker.
You're an offensive lineman. You don't get as much as the pub, as the receivers, the quarterbacks, everyone else. Does that matter to you?
Not really.
Do you want that recognition?
I mean, sometimes it's good, I'm not going to lie. Sometimes some recognition is good. But at the end of the day, if you don't get recognized, you're doing your job on the O-line. So
How cool is that? Like if you spring open a block for the running back, or if you pancake somebody and no one throws a touchdown, how good does that make you feel?
it's a great feeling. Love it. Keeps me up at night thinking about it.
You're going to be the anchor of the line this year as a senior. You've had some big names graduate last year. You had some big holes to fill. Yeah, Muir and everybody else. So, you know, an all-spot, you go down the line, Jeske. How are you going to step into that leadership role of helping the new guys and the younger guys get back up to that level?
Just being a role model and being there for them if they have a question and showing them how to do it so they're not confused.
Third year starting, is that a big deal to you?
I'd say yeah. I mean, it's like, I don't really know how to describe it. It's a good feeling to come back for the third year because I just want it more. Losing the past 2 years just makes me want to win it more this last year.
What's that like when you come out of the tunnel and you come in this packed house on Friday night?
You get goosebumps, shivers. It's just cool seeing the support we have from our city.
And then you high-five the kids on the way and everything, and you see the cheerleaders and the band and all that. It's just, describe that to an outsider.
It's just seeing the support that you have from your city and going out and playing in front of them. It's awesome.
What is it you want to accomplish as a team this year?
Beat Iggy week 1, beat Lake, beat McKinley also, and then win states. We're going to win it.
How cool is it that week 1 you get to play in Cleveland Stadium?
It's really cool. It's going to be a cool experience. I'm excited.
Here you are playing at Brown Stadium against St. Ignatius with their tradition and everything, or are you just looking at another game?
Just another game. Just going out there, get them out the way, 1-0, week 1.
You play with some really talented players, from quarterbacks to receivers to linemen to defense. What's that like?
It's really cool just knowing that everybody puts in a lot of hard work and it shows for them, so we have a really good team built around.
You mentioned all the accolades that you guys want to reach. A lot of people always say state championship. How realistic is that?
I think it's very realistic. With all the work we put in, it shows on the field, and we got a bunch of dogs. Got a bunch of dogs this year. NWO.
Was he always a center?
Always, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Was it because he wanted to be like his big brother?
Not that he wants to be like me. Maybe it was that he wanted to, one up me, in the sense. Connor and I, we always talk smack to each other, especially when after I was graduated from high school, he would talk about, I'm going to start as a sophomore. I'm going to, do this, and it was to the point where, it was a playful tension where it's like, oh, do I really want him to start at center? Because then that means that, he can talk, he can talk some smack, he's backing it up, right?
Does that make you feel better or worse than if he ups you in any way?
No, I think it would be better. I want Avon Football to win a championship. That comes at the cost of Connor talking smack, right? that's a good thing. And no, I want him to do better than me because, I mean, that's my little brother. Like, I love him. I always like to say that the center has more touches than anyone on the team because we start to play every time, and usually the QBs are taken out before. And Connor coming in as a sophomore, and also I think coming in as, he's a Bingham, right? And he's a center. Bingham, I had just recently graduated high school at that point, right? So I think there's a lot more pressure on him than there was on me, because Avon had already come off of a 5 years in a row of being in the Final Four. I think he definitely had more pressure than me, and so I think he handled it very well.
You seem more the level-headed Bingham compared to your twin brothers. Where does Connor fit into that mix?
Connor's the instigator. He is on no man's team, but also no one's against him. It would be Connor and Colin versus Ryan, or Ryan and Connor versus Colin in terms of annoying, fighting, beating up. And I was always on the outside. We always referred to them as the three little brothers because they were just like grouped together. Connor, just because he's bigger than them also, and he was their size for a long time, we kind of saw them as triplets. Connor, he's the instigator, and he's a mixture of, Colin's, just everything is goofy, and Ryan's, I guess, sometimes being just weird, and also being serious too and sensitive to others. And that's something that, I do want to give credit to Connor for, is that he is sensitive to other people's feelings and things like that. I think he's met or exceeded expectations. I think he's been doing a great job at center. Both of our paths have been so close, that he's played center on offense all through from 7th grade through, right? And same with me, both being number 52. And so for the past 6 out of the 7 years, it's been Bingham's at snapping the ball for Avon, right? I don't think too many people are able to say that, for 6 years, being brothers, that they played the same position for that long for Avon. So yeah, it's amazing.
Connor has been the staple of our offensive line for the last 3 years. When you play center, I was just telling Connor this the other day, and nobody notices you unless you do something wrong. If it's a bad snap, if you get called for holding, if you give up a sack, that's when people notice the center. But it is the most important position on the field. Some would argue quarterback is, Coach Powell, maybe Nolan Good would argue that. I would tell you that center is the most important position because it starts every play. You're kind of the brains of the operation. All the calls start with you. He's just such a tough kid and athletic. You take that position for granted until you don't have a talented center. And thankfully at Avon, we've had a few centers in a row with the last name Bingham who have really taken care of our offensive line.
How much of an advantage do you think that is that you had an older brother that started for 3 years too at center?
To play offensive line, it's a brotherhood within itself. Our offensive line now refers to themselves as the moving company. You take a great deal of pride in being an offensive lineman and what that means. And a lot of times it means you're not going to get much credit, you're going to get a lot of criticism, but you don't care because you're doing it with your brothers and the guys next to you. And by the way, there's 11 guys on offense and 5 of them happen to be offensive linemen. So there's power in numbers, and those guys are a team within a team. And it's fun to watch them interact. It's fun to watch them go to work. There's an unselfish nature to offensive linemen just naturally. And he leads all of that. And I couldn't ask for a better leader on the offensive line.
How much do you think he learned from some of the big-time recruits that have been around him the last few years that have made him into the leader that he is?
He's a jokester. He's always joking around, and he's always interacting with others, but he had a great relationship with Luke Hamilton. Him and Matt Muir, they were a comedy show within themselves, just watching those two interact and how they talk to each other, where they're going to eat after games, their obsession with Taco Bell. He's learned a lot from them, but I think more importantly, the older I get, yes, we want to win football games, but it's all about the journey and the experience. And I want these kids to have so much fun and enjoy this every step of the way and not feel the pressure of winning. Of course we want to win. Of course we're working hard to win. The ultimate end game here is for them to have lifelong friendships with kids that they play with, to learn a lot of life lessons along the way. And I don't know that anybody enjoys playing football more than Connor Bingham.
Hilarious. He's one of the funniest guys I know.
Why is that?
I don't know. It's just the stuff he says. He has really good comedic timing, and the stuff he says and the stuff he does too is just hilarious.
Bingham's a leader. Bingham takes the younger kids under his wings. Just helps the whole team out by doing that.
Also hard worker, again goofy, semi good looking, funny, but antisocial. He doesn't like to hang out with us anymore. So.
Chubby, Taco Bell, funny, annoying sometimes in school, hard worker, dedicated, gets his stuff done. Yeah, that's my boy. I can't say anything about him. Connor. I like Connor.
Yeah?
He's a good guy. That's another funny guy. That dude is hilarious. Some of the things that I've seen him do and hear him say, it's not good enough for camera, I'm telling you. He makes me laugh every time. Every time I see him, I just start laughing because I just think of the times like where he's made funny jokes to someone or to me. I laugh about it, you know. He's just one of those funny dudes, and I would definitely say that Connor is one of the toughest dudes I've ever met. As a sophomore when he was playing starting center, going to those big games like against Medina, against Glenville, and then the late game the week after, I just like seeing him go in and just duke it out with the opponents. I was like, this guy's an animal. This guy's tough.
What's that do for you when you see somebody like him ball out?
It gets me excited. Like, he's balling out. I'm just so happy for him, you know. And I try to like, well, I'm gonna go try and show that too, you know. But I'm just happy for him because he's balling out. He's showing off what he can do.
Underrated. I think people take him for granted a lot. I know he's a captain. He's one of the best football players in the team, but he's definitely, people take him for granted.
Bingham's also chill, but he also can bring the juice. I'd say bulldozer, man, like in terms of, like football terms, like he can maul some people on the line, and he's huge, and I feel like bulldog maybe. Bulldog, you know, bulldogs are chill, they're cute, but you know, when they need to get going, they'll get going.
He's a character. He's a character for sure. He likes to mess around, but when it's time to go, he'll lock in and really do some damage on the field. That's another hard worker, disciplined, really good guy outside of football too. I hang out with him a lot and just love that dude.
I feel like, honestly, I trust him with like my life, and he's like, I mean, he probably doesn't know this, but I trust him with my life, and I just like think like he's just a great person too. Like, he's a super funny guy, like obviously, and his jokes and stuff, and like we've gotten super close over the years, and I just love like just hanging out with him, going fishing and stuff. It's super fun.
If Hollywood made a movie about Connor Bingham, who would star as Connor Bingham?
Paul Blart or Chris Farley.
Okay, so Kevin James?
Yeah.
I've been told I look like Kevin James.
Have you?
So do you think I could star as you?
Yeah, you're a good-looking guy.
Wow. I'll take that as a compliment. That's probably the first time I've ever heard that. Wow. If you were pizza, what toppings would be on you?
Bacon, pepperoni, and pineapple.
Ooh. That sounds really good.
With ranch too. With ranch.
No, you just killed it.
You need ranch. Not on top. You have to dip it. And garlic sauce.
No,
you need dipping.
If you were a superhero, who would you be?
Yeah, probably Captain Underpants.
Is that a real superhero?
Yeah. In the books. Good guy, good dude, killer.
Is it boxers or briefs?
Boxers. No, Matt.
When the Powerball jackpot gets to $1 billion, if you had that winning ticket, what would you do with it?
Probably buy a 2001 Pontiac and put bass boosters in it. Probably buy a private island for my mom, and then buy my dad a little shed or something.
A shed?
Yeah, give him a shed.
For?
It's good guy. Some tools in there. I'd upgrade this football field, new stands, and better food at the concessions.
Really?
Sir.
You maybe make a dome?
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Wow. That'd be cool. A high school with a dome?
Yeah. And I get unlimited stock on pop for the rest of my life.
Really? What flavor?
Sprite and Red Voltage Mountain Dew.
Oh, yeah. That was a little specific. Okay.
Connor, you're taller than me. You're stronger than me in the weight room. You're heavier than me. But just remember who your big brother is. Because you know that in one-on-one, I still have you.